Hello NetJets team, this is Matt Bergen with a quick configuration video on foundational objects and how we set up the system. Now, when we talk about the foundational objects, these are the objects that are the core of your corporate structure. And just as a high-level visualization, this is typically what we would see at least for the first 4 levels. We'd start at legal entity, that's the highest level. It's typically one legal entity per country. And then we go to business unit. Business unit connects directly to division, which connects to department, and then it goes on to locations, cost center codes, and on beyond that. The great thing about the flexibility of the SuccessFactors application is you can use some of the objects, you don't have to use the objects, and you can modify these objects. So if the fields that are delivered don't fit for you and you need additional fields or data in those objects, you have the ability to create them. I'm logged into the SuccessFactors application as the administrator, and all of our foundational tools are found under the Manage Org, Pay, and Job Structures. It's kind of where all those big key pieces are. And we'll look at just 2 so you have an idea of kind of what these look like and how they work. We'll start with the business unit. So legal entity, as I mentioned, is the highest. Business unit is second, and then business units go into divisions. So all of our different business units in the application can be seen here. We have a corporate business unit, a consulting business unit, products, retail, sales, services. If we look at the corporate business unit, we can see all of the details we have associated with this business unit. The start date, the code, what it's called, description, active. You can also have a head of unit. If I need to make a change or modify this at all, I can just click Make Correction, and I can add, edit, or delete anything I need to in the application. If I wanted to add a new business unit, it's as simple as clicking Create New business unit. It's of course effective dated, so I know when this business unit starts and I don't have people put into this business unit prior to start date. I can put the business unit name, whether or not it's active, and if I wanted to, I could even add a head of the business unit if we have somebody in the organization that we're going to align directly to the business unit, and save. That's the process for adding a new business unit. Now, the next level down was division, so we'll look at that real quick so you can see kind of how we attach these together. We'll go into division, and again, you can see the divisions that we currently have: directive sales, executive office. And when we get into the division, you'll know the division is outlined very much like the business unit was, but the tie or the connection is that it has this additional field that ties it back to the business unit. So let's go ahead and create a new division, excuse me. And we'll call this NetJets Corp. Name is NetJets. Status is active. And then we're just going to tie it to the NetJets business unit we just created. We can also tie this business unit, as you saw, it has a reciprocity structure. So if I have multiple business units tied to this one division, I can. But that's it. I now have my NetJets division, my NetJets business unit, and that's the process we use to create and monitor these foundation objects in the application. The only one that's different that I may mention would be the cost center. And the reason cost center is typically different is cost centers are often not maintained and built in the HR system. They're often built and maintained by finance, and then we just copy them into the HR system. So well, you have the ability to do that manually, and you can copy all of your cost centers or manually build all of your cost centers in the application. You don't have to. The Employee Central tool will actually accept a file feed from your finance group that will take that cost center data and add it as they make changes on their side. So that's the one that you had in your script that I wanted to call out because it is a little bit different from what we typically see. In reality, we could do that with any of the foundational fields. If they're being built somewhere else and you just want to feed them in, you can. But that's the process on how we configure and maintain and manage all of those foundational objects. I hope that helps and gives you some insight into how we manage and configure our system. And I certainly hope it gives you the insight you need. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Mark, and we'd be happy to assist you further. Thank you.